Hey, David from Redneck Garage. It is Tuesday here in Franklin, Tennessee, and it is not warm. It's pretty chilly. It's been raining all day yesterday and day before. Been watching the weather reports, and we are on countdown. This is day, let's see, what is this? Got 5 days. 5 days. Really 4 days. I got 4 days to get finished. Been looking at the weather reports. The rest of this week, for the most part, it's going to be nice. On Saturday, it's going to be 70 degrees and sunny, no chance of rain. That's going to be our day. That's the day we're going to paint this baby. So I've got that many days. Today's Tuesday. I've got that many days to get this thing ready for paint. Finish up my wet sanding, primer the doors, do all that stuff that I need to do. We're really close anyway, but it's got to be ready to paint. I've got to do some decisions on how I want to paint the doors and the tailgate, whether I want to mount them and paint them or paint them sitting down. Do I want to mount the hood? Do I want to keep the hood mounted and painted, or do I want to do it off the truck? I don't know. I got to decide all that stuff. But we're getting close, and Saturday is the day. It is paint day. Our Redneck spray booth has to be ready, and we're going to shoot this baby. So that's where we're at with the Jeep. And I'll just give you a quick update, and then we'll just go boom, boom, boom through the rest of the stuff. Okay, so as far as getting ready, we got another coat of primer or two to put on the doors and the tailgate. All right, now, do I mount the tailgate and shoot it on the truck, or do I shoot it on the stand like that? Do I mount the doors and shoot them on the truck, or do I paint them like that? Of course, we're not painting hinges and stuff because I'm replacing all of that. All of the hardware is going to be black, so all we need to paint is the doors. I don't know. I got to make that decision. I haven't made that decision yet. This side, got a little bit more wet sanding to do right here. Looks like I'm going to have to put just a little bit of primer. I am. There will be a little more primer needed right here through this section because I can see that there's a slight low spot. See where we're burning through? There's a little bit low. So another coat of primer should take, it's not very low. Another coat of primer should take care of that. Wet sand it. Couple little dings and dents right through here. Fenders are good. Hood is finished. Yeah, hood is done. This fender is new, so we need to sand it down. This side is wet sanded all the way up to here. So let me tell you, we are very, very close. So I got to get my butt in gear to get this done. Get it ready. Put the rear tire on, move the truck to the center for the painting. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, good morning. It's a little chilly out here. It's about 50 degrees, but it's going to get up in the 70s today. That's good. As far as the Jeep goes, we're moving on from really one phase to the next. We're kind of moving from the bodywork phase to paint prep at this point. Basically, I'll be going through each side, front, back, looking for imperfections, things that need to be sanded, tweaked, anything that's going to mess up the paint job. But for the most part, it's ready to paint except for, you know, some small stuff. The doors need one more coat of primer, and then I'll wet sand those and they'll be painted. And then I got to start making some decisions on how I want to paint it, and sometimes that's hard. Do I want to leave the hood on and paint it off? Do I want to paint them at the same time? I tend to, when I'm doing a paint job, I tend to like to paint everything at the same time if I can. It gives you a better consistency of color. Metallics are worse as far as like your pressures being the same. Like you could spray it at one point with a higher pressure in your gun and then later come back and do another part and it comes out completely different looking because the pressures are different, and that metallic flake will spread out differently because of different pressures, humidity levels, temperatures, all kinds of stuff. So if you can paint it all at one time, then you're better off. That's kind of my thoughts on that. So today I'm going to be going over one side at a time, looking for little stuff, checking seams. Like I can see there's just a little roughness right there where those two panels meet, and you just need to take that roughness off of your primer. And we're going to be getting this baby prepped for the final paint job. Now originally I said it was going to be Saturday, then I changed it to Sunday, but now it looks like Saturday is going to be a pretty nice day again. They're calling for no rain. So I'd really like to shoot it on Saturday. So that's my target date. So 2 days, man. I gotta get busy. Okay, so now we're moving into a whole new phase, a different phase. You can see that the doors are still a little wet from being out overnight. we're moving out of the bodywork phase really into paint prep phase for the most part, except for these doors. Last night I was wet sanding a little bit, and you can see that it looks very smooth. We're now at the point of just, like right here I can see just a little orange peel in my primer. So it needs to get hit right there a couple times. But it's looking really good. What you're looking for now is any imperfections, any places that you missed. I mean, I'm seeing a few little ones, and I mean, probably the little stuff that I'm seeing wouldn't really be noticed in the final paint job, or it would be really super minor. There's something worthless. Yes, it is. We need to get rid of these nasty dogs. What are you doing, Tigray? Yeah. So, Jared, this is for you, buddy. This is what happens when the sun starts coming out in Nashville around this time of year. You can see that I gotta go buy a new mower. I'm old and crapped out. It's like anything else, man. They make these things to be disposable. You can see last year I had to take a wire and run it down to the governor on it to get it to keep running. I'm tired of fooling with this, so we're gonna go to Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart or somewhere, get me a new lawnmower today or tomorrow probably, because we got to mow. Look at this crap. Most of it's weeds this time of year. Somebody said get some weed and feed and kill the weeds, and I'm like, then I wouldn't have anything. So most of this grass is Bermuda. So I gotta get the weed eater out and cut around my RV. We're gonna take it on a trip. Then my old Toyota van, cut around it, wash it. The yard work has started. Okay, so I got the last coat of primer on the doors. Now the cleanup begins. About ready to move the Jeep out of the way to start cleaning up the driveway so we can get our Redneck paint booth started. Awesome! So one of the things you want to do with your paint prep is just wash the crap out of the truck. You'll find residue from your wet sanding. Like right here I can see some right in that corner. Right? The paint's smooth, but it's got some residue on it. So you need to wash. I use a soft bristle brush with some Dawn dishwashing detergent, which gets off any oils or things like that. She's looking good though. Next thing I'm going to be doing is looking at all my seams, kind of running my hand over them, making sure that in the seams that primer, it feels smooth. Because if you're using a block sander, you're not going to be able to smooth those seams out right in the center. I can see some right there. There's a little bit of roughness, and I need to take a piece of sand. It won't be seamed because it's going to have a cover over that. No biggie. But just for grins and giggles, that's what you're looking for on all your seams. Like I can feel a little roughness here on the seam on the fender, and I'll just take some 400 grit, 400 or 600 really, and run it in that seam and smooth out that one little edge. Front's looking good, just a little bit right there. So that's what we're doing. We're running over, we're just methodically going, I like that word. So that's what we're going to do. We're methodically going over the truck, part by part, looking for things like here's some residue, seams, roughness, places that missed being sanded. I'm going to put my window frame back on and put maybe some spacers. Going to reinstall my window frame and put some spacers here to raise it up so when I'm painting, the paint can go underneath, but I'm painting the window frame at the same time. It's over there. So that'll be cool. So all in all, I'm very happy with the bodywork progress, and it looks really good, especially compared to what it looked like before. Got to primer these doors, and that's where we're at on the truck. I chased the threads on the tailgate here so it'll bolt up, and I'm going to put some spacing washers in here to keep it away from the body so the paint will get behind it, just to space it out a little bit. So I'll be able to shoot that
it'll just hold up that tailgate while I'm shooting it. The doors I'm going to paint off of it because of the way that they're mounted. They're a big, huge pain. Different hinges and everything else. So I'm not going to... The doors I'm going to shoot off of it. Now I got to decide too if I'm going to paint the hood on or paint the hood off. I almost think I could get a better job with it off, but I haven't decided yet. And I'm cleaning up the driveway. I'm going to probably take the pressure washer and get all this, once I wet sand these doors, probably hit it with the pressure washer real quick. And then we're going to start construction of the Redneck spray booth. And that'll probably be a separate video than this, because that's going to be super cool. But yeah, there's a lot of primer in the driveway I need to spray off. I went ahead and moved my board inside. This is the cheap tap set. And let me tell you, if you're chasing threads, these right here are the coolest things ever. They sell them at Home Depot to hold the taps. It's really handy rather than the cheapy one that comes with the set. These work great. And like I said, you're just chasing threads, so you don't need like a super duty tap set. That's why this one was really cheap on eBay. But yeah. So I moved my board inside the garage, and my spray booth is going to come up to right here on the edge underneath the eave. Don't like much getting this sanded down and getting the booth put up. Alrighty, here's the Harbor Freight 10 by 20 canopy 69034 item number. This will be the backbone, the basis, the beginning stages of the Redneck spray booth. I'm going to go ahead and get started on taking it apart and looking at the poles, maybe getting the instructions out, and we're going to go from there, what goes next with this thing. I'm going to get the frame put together first, and then I can put the other stuff on, looks like. But we'll take a look at it. So that's the booth set up with the poles. Basically, you just snap them together, not that bad. It's real hard by yourself, though. You almost need 2 to 3 people just to balance it while you're setting those poles in place. But so far, I'm not going to put the roof on it until I'm ready to start painting, because the wind will knock the hell out of it. So I want to pick a day that's not, you know, hopefully Saturday's not too windy, and when I put the roof on it, won't blow it over. Okay, so here's where I'm at right now. I pulled out the new hinges for the tailgate. I'm going to paint the tailgate on the truck just to clear up some space. I'm going to be more limited in how many places I can put stuff to paint it. So the tailgate will paint fine. I'm going to tape these up. Worst case scenario is I have to repaint them black, which no big deal for me. Got the other coat of primer on these doors and the trunk. And I also took my threads. I also took my tap and chased all the threads for the tailgate so I can put the bolts in. I got this in from eBay. It is netting that is used in the Army for something. I don't know, maybe a tent cover. But anyway, I'm going to use it in the Redneck spray booth to cover one end of the booth instead of with drop cloth plastic. I'm going to put it on one side. Probably have to cut it, figure out where we're going to clip it, but use this netting on part of it to get airflow, keep stuff from flying in, and keep bugs out, but not just continue to create a sealed place, I'll be able to get airflow through the Redneck spray booth. So this is one of the things I bought. How cool is that? It was like 10 bucks. I don't see, and he shipped it priority mail. So how do you sell this for 10 bucks? And you know they got to spend, say, 6 bucks. So he made $4 profit on it. It wouldn't be worth my time to fool with it for that. But anyway, that's what he sold it for. And we're going to use this in the Redneck spray booth. Okay, this is driving me crazy. If I go to the Weather Channel, it's saying 0% chance of rain. But if I go to AccuWeather, it's saying 40% chance. Now Sunday, they're both saying no. So I guess I'm just going to have to play it by ear whether it's going to rain or not. I really don't want to shoot it in the rain, even though I'm going to have a covering over it, because that's just inviting disaster of some water running in on your paint job, and that really does suck. Okay, so we had a pretty productive day. I got the Redneck spray booth constructed. Next video I'll show you what it came out looking like. I was real happy with it. Today's Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. I got a little more sanding to do, just some minor wet sanding. And just going over the whole truck, making sure there's no rough spots or areas that need attention. I've decided that I'm going to paint it with the hood on rather than off, just because the room it takes to try to put that somewhere and keep crap from falling in it. It's just easier to paint it on the truck. The doors are the only thing I'm going to paint off of the truck. I've spaced out some of the parts so paint will flow behind where like the hinges would go, and then it'd be completely covered with the hinges. So anyway, pretty happy with it. Tomorrow we'll go through a walk around of the Redneck Driveway Spray Booth. OSHA approved. Hopefully codes won't give me a ticket. But man, we're a couple days away from paint, so it's been a long time coming. I'm happy. Just a little more sanding. David from Redneck Garage. See you tomorrow.